Alright, we're checking out another small EDC flashlight from SOFIRN. This is the ST1. Take a quick look around the box, cover some of the quick features here. So 1500 lumens max, 226 meter beam reach, 450 hours of runtime, obviously on the lowest setting, 102 grams of weight. More specs here in the back, we'll get to that here in a second. The LED element here is an SFT-25R. If you guys know what that means exactly, let me know. And 6,000 to 6,500 in terms of the white balance. These are the performance specs here. Basically, you got a moonlight low and medium and high levels, and a turbo level. And you got these various illumination levels. So 1 lumen up to 450 hours. Low is 10 lumens to 100 hours. Medium is 350 lumens to 3.5 hours. You have a high level that will go 800 lumens for 10 minutes, and then it'll drop down to 600 lumens for 100 minutes. Then you have your turbo mode, max of 1500 lumens for 2 minutes, and then it'll drop down to 600 lumens for 100 minutes. And you got your drop rating there. It's IPX7 waterproof rated. Here are the dimensions. We'll pull that here in a second. It's pretty small. It's a nice small size. So here's the flashlight itself. Get some stuff underneath here. USB-C to USB-C cable for charging. And you get a wrist strap here. So I think that's going to attach to the flashlight. And you get your user manual. Alright, so just taking a look at the flashlight itself. It's kind of a gunmetal color, so I have a sort of a sleek gray, although I think it's officially known as black, but it's definitely more grayish than black. So you can see this is black here on the tail, and this is more of a gunmetal gray color. It's your button for activating, and then that's the LED that shows your battery level, and I'm pretty sure this is 6061 anodized aluminum. Got this yellow plastic covering the lens elements. Got to pull that off. And looks like we have your one single main element that's for the most of the brightness, and then you got 4 smaller elements there on the side. Much here in the bottom, you got your little hole here for the wrist strap, and then flap here for the charging port, and that's a little silicone flap to maintain the waterproof rating. Nothing much on the sides. And the size of my hand here, I have a sort of medium-sized average hand. Pretty solid feeling in the hand here. It's not too heavy. Should be pretty easy to operate. If you press it once, it just doesn't do anything. Probably in the lockout mode. So I think you have to double press it to get it out of the lockout mode. There we go. And then it turns to, looks like it goes straight to turbo. So single press again, and then you long press. That'll take it down. I'm not 100% sure. I think this is the low level. The moonlight width, I think we'll have to use something else to trigger the moonlight levels. Alright, so this is low, then you long press to go to the next level. Medium. That's high. And it goes back to low. So to get the turbo mode, I think you double press it when it's on. Yeah, that goes to turbo. Wow, and that's really warm. My hand is getting kind of hot, and then that goes, and then press it once to go back to low. So to trigger turbo in any mode, so let's go to medium. So that's medium. Double press. That takes it to turbo, and single press takes you back to the mode you're on. That's high, and that's low, and then just short press to turn it off. So in the manual, it talks about moonlight mode here, and it's kind of in a weird spot because of the way the manual has been sort of split up. But I'll just read it off here. It says when the flashlight is off and unlocked, you're going to long press the switch to turn on moonlight mode, and then single click to turn it off. So when it's off, we'll long press, and there we go. That's the moonlight mode. Very dim. Let me turn off this extra light here. So a little bit darker here, so you can kind of tell that, okay, this is what it is. So again, that's the moonlight mode. We'll turn the light off. And if we single click, that's low, medium, high, back to low, and then double click turbo, short press to turn it off, and then when it's off, long press to turn on that moonlight mode. And again, that moonlight mode is that 1 lumen. I think a lot of people like that 1 lumen level. It's not readily available in a lot of these flashlights. So let's go ahead. I'll take us to, I guess, the garage, and see how this illuminates the garage in the dark. All right, back in the garage, and I just have my standard garage light here. So standard ambient lighting, I'm going to turn that off. And go ahead and turn on the flashlight here. I'm going to turn this on moonlight mode. And this is moonlight mode. So just going to illuminate the car here in the front. See, that's actually not too bad, although it doesn't have much reach. It's only going to be good for stuff that's close. Okay, we'll turn that off. Turn the flashlight back on. I think this is low. There's medium. And I think medium is a good compromise. It's going to work for most situations in this kind of smaller space. And here's high. A little bit better. You can actually see inside the car here with that. And the car over here. And then double press here, go to turbo. And just a little bit more. Although this is only going to last for a certain amount of time. Can definitely look inside the vehicles. Plenty of reach. And so let me go back down. I'll turn this off. And we'll go back down. Let's turn this back to, so that's low. It's medium. So I'm going to walk around and you can see what this looks like when I'm a little further away. Say if I'm searching for something behind here. How does that light look from the distance? And lighting up things behind me. Just give you an idea of some perspective of what this beam looks like. Is it just in medium? And let's try and go to high. How that looks from a distance. And here's turbo, just a little bit higher. So I like the separation of the levels of the light, going from basically going from low to medium to high to turbo. Again, yeah, it's a good separation. You get a nice little you can tell that it's a little bit more power. Low is okay. I can see things, but it's like things are kind of dark as I'm trying to look around. So if I'm in a really dark space, I'm trying to find something. Low might do okay in a pinch, but yeah, I don't think I would like this as the highest level. I think medium, going to medium, I think is the best. This one definitely looks the best. I can definitely make out things even at a distance here in this confined space. I can definitely see everything, no problem. High and turbo are probably overkill for a small space like this, but maybe in a larger outdoor area that could be more useful. But again, high and turbo doesn't really last that long. There's a limit because it's the internal battery. And, in terms of downsides, the internal battery, you have to recharge it. You can't just swap the battery out. There's no magnet on the tail like you see in a lot of flashlights these days. And no clip for putting on your hat, for example. So it's a pretty basic flashlight. But again, the price is going to be pretty good. I think with the coupon code down in the description, it's going to be under $30 for this, which is pretty decent for the construction and the capability of the LED. So it's a simple but inexpensive, I would say, budget class EDC. So if you're interested in checking it out, there'll be a link in the description. That'll do it for this video. Talk to you guys in the next one.